Thank you for joining us for Salesforce Live Release Readiness for the Winter 18 release. My name is Leanne Reimel, and I'm really excited to be here with you all week as we cover the latest and greatest features in Winter 18 across all of our clouds. Today, we're starting off with the Sales Cloud, and we're so excited to hear from our product managers and learn more about the features coming this release that you can get your hands on today. Now, many of you have probably spent time with the release notes, reading through all of the details, likely reading some of the blogs, the tweets, hopefully even getting hands-on with some of these features in your sandbox or your pre-release environments. But as we go through this information, there's many questions that might come up. We're going to be hearing from our product managers. We're going to be deep diving into different technical areas. And so as we have questions come up, we want to hear from you. So I'm going to kick it off to our community rock star, Elna Miller, to tell you how you can engage with us throughout the broadcast today and all week and get your questions heard. Elna?
All right, thank you very much, Leanne. So welcome everybody. It's for our first day of Release Readiness Live. I am Elna Miller, your moderator in the Release Readiness community. I want to encourage everybody to post their questions and shout outs in either the Release Readiness group in the Success community or in Twitter. And please do use the hashtag Salesforce Live. I'll be looking for your questions and we'll ask as many as we can possibly live today. And if not, we'll follow up with you afterwards. All right, let's get started.
Awesome. Thank you, Elna. So we're really excited to hear your questions, hear your feedback, hear what you're excited about in Winter 18 and what you want to learn more about. And if you have to leave during today's broadcast, if you want to share today's broadcast or rewatch it and go over some of the demos in more detail, today's broadcast and all of our Release Readiness Live broadcasts can be found at the page where you registered, which is shown on the screen right now. So before we get started, we are talking to some of our product managers from the Sales Cloud, which means hopefully we'll be learning more not only about what's in this release, but also some of our roadmap technology and features that are coming, which means that it's important to cover our forward-looking statement. Our forward-looking statement asks that all of our Salesforce customers make all of their purchasing decisions based on currently available technologies. So please ensure that you review this. And without further ado, let's get started.
Hi, I'm Carrie Aves, and today I'm going to be talking about core sales.
My name is Andy Kong, and I'm going to highlight some of the new features that's going to help you and your users boost sales productivity.
And I'm Liz Skates, and I'm excited to be sharing with you all the new features in reports and dashboards this release.
I'm Mike. I'm here to talk about Sales Cloud Einstein and then give you a preview on the next generation of Sales Cloud Einstein.
So we have a great lineup today of product managers, and we're really excited to see demos, learn more about the features that are coming. So Carrie, let's kick it off with you.
All right, excellent. So before we get started, I just wanted to point out that all the features we're going to be covering today are actually talking about Lightning experience. So we're going to be talking about all the new enhancements that we're bringing to Sales Cloud, and they're all basically delivered in Lightning. We are all in on Lightning, and we're all really excited about all the great things that we're able to bring to our customers through Lightning experience.
Awesome. And we love Lightning, and we're really excited about where the product is going and the features that are available for our customers, and even for our admins and developers and technology customers out there that maybe their companies aren't on Lightning quite yet. There's still never been a better time to learn Lightning because eventually all of our customers will be on Lightning, and this is a great time to ensure that you're keeping your technical skills up to speed, that you know everything about Lightning and how it's going to impact your users and your organization. So it's never been a better time for our admins and developers and everyone to learn about Lightning.
Yeah, I couldn't agree more. And I really think that there's so much to learn. And I think these sessions that we have, these live sessions, are really helpful to kind of give you some introductions into things that you might not be aware that are available. So with that, I'll get started. So thinking about sales and marketing, always better together. That's a common theme we have within Sales Cloud. And so thinking about what we've delivered for campaign management. Most importantly, as we're thinking about campaign management, we've added some new capabilities around person accounts. So now I can actually add person accounts to a campaign from an account-based report. This is something new for our customers. They've never had it before. We also introduced the ability to track campaign influence across multiple campaigns. And we've introduced the ability for you to see insights about your prospects right within Outlook through Pardot Engage. And so these are some great new enhancements that are available for our customers using campaigns and Pardot. Lead convert is an area where we've invested really big in Winter 18. We had some really great feedback from customers in Classic about how lead convert really needed an overhaul, and we tried to do that a little bit in Lightning. we didn't get real great feedback on what we'd done in Lightning, so we went back to the drawing board, and I think you'll really be excited in what we've done with Lightning with Lead Convert. We've brought back the ability to do Lead Convert in a single click, so no more multiple clicks to create an opportunity or create an account during the Lead Convert process. We've also added the ability to attach a lead to an existing opportunity. So for those of you, again, who already have deals going on with a particular lead, maybe you have leads coming in through multiple sources, now you can actually attach that lead to an existing opportunity, which is net new functionality. And then we've also added the ability to select the record type during Lead Convert. So when you're creating that new account or new contact, you can actually select the record type. So it's no longer going to the default. You can actually pick the appropriate record type. And I think that all of our customers using Lead Convert will be really excited about that. Duplicate management, again, some further investment here in helping you to improve your data quality. We've brought merge for person accounts into Lightning, so you can now merge person accounts in Lightning just like you could in Classic. We've also introduced some new capabilities through duplicate record sets. And for those of you who don't know what duplicate record sets are, that is the ability when you choose to put to your duplicate management rules to report, I'll get this right, to report, it actually creates a duplicate record set that you can go in and actually look at the duplicates created for that rule. So it kind of gives you as an admin a way to go in and check your data quality and see where you might have some data that needs to be cleaned up. And to help you with that process, you can actually merge right from that duplicate record set now, which is an only in Lightning feature. Accountant contacts, can't have CRM without accountant contacts. And so we've actually brought some great capabilities around territory management into Lightning in the Winter 18 release. And through that process, we're introducing the ability to view the assigned territories on an account. We've improved the flow for creating an opportunity from a contact. We heard you loud and clear. That process wasn't working for you, and so we've streamlined that process. And we've also, for our customers that use encryption, introduced encryption on additional fields on account, contact, and person account. So now you can encrypt additional address fields and some additional PII information. Person accounts, since I am the product manager for person accounts, I always have to give a shout out to my person account customers. For those of you who are using person accounts, and you may have a blended org, so you use both B2C and B2B, so business accounts and person accounts, we've introduced the ability for you to have independent contact sharing in your org. So what this means is that you can now define specific sharing rules for your business contacts independent of your sharing rules for person accounts. That's a really big plus for our customers who are using both types of accounts in their org, but also for our customers that may have moved away from person accounts, because now this gives them the ability to have a more flexible sharing model. We've also simplified the enablement process for person accounts, so you can now set a flag right within the account settings page that checks to make sure you have all the prerequisites set. And for those customers using Health Cloud, you now have person accounts in Health Cloud instead of just the individual model. Opportunity management, I can now add opportunity members faster through multi-add. We've added support for prompting users to add products to their opportunity when they're creating a net new opportunity. And now you can also update your forecast category, giving you more flexibility in managing your opportunities. And as I said, territory management is now available in setup in Lightning Experience. It was always working in the background, but now you no longer have to switch to Classic. You can automatically access your territory management rules right from within the Lightning setup. We saw that we could see accounts assigned territories related list, and we also have that territory field on opportunity. So give you the full breadth of the territory management experience right within Lightning. And finally, collaborative forecasting. As I think about, obviously, I think the whole sales process, collaborative forecasting, I think the biggest gain here is that we can actually access forecasts for the first time in Lightning Console. So for those customers who are using Sales Console, you can now access forecasts right within the console. We also have the ability to view our quota attainment and quotas right within the forecast within Lightning, and we can make adjustments based on product family for those of you who are using product family forecasts. So all those great capabilities allowing you to manage your forecast very easily. I believe, and Mike can keep me honest here, that we have finally closed all the gaps between collaborative forecasting and customizable forecasting, or we're very close.
We're like 99% there.
We're 99% there. So for those of you who haven't yet made the switch to collaborative forecasting, definitely a good time to be thinking about that. And with that said, I'm going to jump into a demo. So just wanted to kind of highlight some of the items that we had for Lead Convert, because again, I think this is really one of the most exciting features we have in Winter 18. So as I look here, looking at my lead within Lightning Experience, I can see all of my lead details. I can see, the key information about this particular lead. And when I'm ready to convert that lead, I simply click the Convert button, and you'll notice I have a whole new dialog for Convert Lead. Now here, I could actually choose to just accept the Create New for Account, Contact, and Opportunity and click Convert, and my convert would complete and I'd be done. But I also have the ability to choose existing records. So if this particular account, United Partners, already exists, I can choose an existing account instead of creating new. And you'll notice that through the integration with duplicate management rules that it's already suggesting accounts to me based upon the key criteria of my match rule. So here I've got United Partners, and it's saying here are a few United Partners accounts that you can select from. If I choose an existing account, you'll notice that it also gives me the existing matches for contact and for opportunity. Now, if I want to see more detail here, I can simply just expand the section, and you'll notice here's my existing contact match. If this wasn't the appropriate contact, I can actually search through the contact search, so it gives me the ability to search for different records if the match rule wasn't an exact match for me. So I'm going to pick my existing contact. And then again, I can come down here and choose to create a new opportunity or choose an existing. I wanted to point out that we did bring back the auto-populate of the company name into the opportunity to give you kind of a head start on creating your opportunity name. And if, again, I wanted to choose an existing opportunity, I could do that here. At this point, I'm just going to click the Convert button. And once I click Convert, it's going to go through the conversion process, and it's going to give me this whole new success window. So it gives me the account, the contact, and the opportunity that I've created. And then I can move on to create a new task or go back to my lead list to continue qualifying my leads. In this example, I'm going to continue on to my contact because I want to show you some enhancements that we made to creating an opportunity from my contact. So as we heard from you, this process was a little clunky, so we've improved that process. So if I click on the new button, you'll notice that it brings up the opportunity create window. So I can say, new opportunity. Oh, if I could spell today, new opportunity. I can give it a close date. We'll say the 22nd, we're past due here, prospecting. Key in all of the key fields for that particular opportunity and click Save. Now, it's actually going to prompt me to add products because support for automatic add products on an opportunity has also been introduced as part of this release for Lightning. So if I wanted to add a couple products, I can simply click on those products, click Next. I'm moving on. We're going to type in some quantities, moving on, and click Save. And you'll notice that my changes have been saved. My new opportunity has been created. If I drill into that opportunity, here's my products, here's my contact, automatically added as a contact role, again, streamlining that process for me. So those are some great new highlights for you as part of the core sales capabilities. So definitely take a look at New Lead Convert, and definitely take a look at some of the key gaps that we've been able to close between Classic and Lightning, making it even easier for you to move over to Lightning from Classic.
Yeah, thank you. That was a great demo. And that's a great combination of features, especially for our Sales Cloud admins out there, to know that maybe some of the features they know and love in Classic are now available in Lightning, and it's a great time to kind of revisit maybe the things that you're used to doing in Classic and revisit those in Lightning, because there's a lot of clicks that have been reduced and a lot of new only in Lightning functionality as well. Yes. So that's really exciting.
Yes, definitely.
And it sounds like on Twitter and the Success community, our customers are excited as well. Elna, do we have any questions?
Yes, I'm just trying to organize them now because a bunch of them are coming in right now. A couple of great shout outs. I just want to acknowledge Carl. Really excited about the one-click lead convert, so good job on that one, especially with the selecting the record type and attaching to an existing record. Lots of excitement for that one. And Mary, lots of animated GIFs being posted on Twitter, so if you're following the Twitter feed, it's actually putting a big smile on my face. Mary says, yay for independent contact sharing. And also Francisco, collaborative forecasting, big, excited GIF on that one as well.
All right.
And now for a couple of questions. So the attaching lead to opportunity and selecting the record type, is that just in Lightning, or can you also do it in Classic?
That is only available in Lightning.
All right, that was a very quick, succinct answer. Thank you. And then updating the forecast category on opportunities, is that available in Classic or only in Lightning?
That was already available in Classic, and so that was something that we introduced into Lightning to help you in your transition.
Gotcha. And just, I noticed I was playing around with the lead convert, and you know the part where you can see the details on the existing records, and you can see the card with some of the additional fields for that matching contact or account and so forth.
Yep.
Can you talk a little bit about how to make sure that those details are visible? Because I noticed that if you don't set some things up, then you just see the name. You don't actually see that card with the details. So if you could talk a little bit more about that, that would be great.
So let's go back to a lead here. So we'll pick Rosa here, and we go into our convert screen. So in the convert screen, it automatically shows us collapsed. And so it'll show you just the bare minimum of fields that you need in order to kind of assess this particular record. If you want to see more details, you can simply expand, and it's going to show you some additional fields. The matches that show on the right, and you'll notice that I don't have any matches here, are based on the contact and account match rules that you've defined. And so it's going to show you the key fields based upon those match rules. So if you had additional matches, you would be able to see the key fields displayed there for those particular match rules. So it's going to be based on the actual fields that you've defined in your match rules.
From Ali on the new convert lead interface, can we map the new opportunity field to a custom field on the leads object? For example, opportunity name, so that it comes over. So what was entered comes over in the opportunity name field from the lead object.
So the opportunity name, so you can map all of the opportunity fields and account fields and contact fields through the mapping interface in Setup. In this particular screen, you're not actually deciding on any of the mapping here. The name actually gets decided based upon if you're going to create a new record based upon what's displayed here, or if you're choosing an existing opportunity, it already has a name, so you're not choosing that. Normally you would see the new mapping interface, and that's where you could actually map all of your lead fields for contact, account, and opportunity.
Okay. All right, so thank you for that. And then this is something we were talking about just before we started getting on the air here. Ruth was asking about cloning an opportunity with products. Can you talk a little bit about, is that available now, or when will it be available?
So cloning opportunity with products did not make it in for the Winter 18 release. The team right now is focused on working on opportunity splits. So cloning opportunity with products is going to be probably a future release. I don't have a target release for that yet. But it's something that we definitely have on our roadmap, so I would say stay tuned.
All right. Mary was also asking about controlling the contact, account, and opportunity record type in the new lead conversion process. I know you can pick the record type of the account?
You can pick the record type for the account. So when you're converting to the account record, if you have contact record types, you can select that as well. So this is where I can select the record types. If I had more than one record type assigned to me, then I could choose that particular record type. If you don't pick a record type, what's going to display here is the default record type for you as a user.
Right. Yeah, I noticed if you didn't have any record types, then that selection just doesn't even show up.
Exactly. So it would look a little bit more like contact.
Right. So it's there if you use it. If you're not going to use it, it doesn't clutter up the page,
exactly.
Which is really great. Yeah. How many questions do we have time for, Leanne? Because I still see more coming in.
We have time for actually about 2 more questions.
All right.
And then we're going to hear about all of the rest of the sales features.
From Karen, did I see the ability to assign converted account or contact opportunities to a different user? So I guess when you're converting and then you're creating those new records, can you then assign them to a different user?
Oh, so you can choose the record owner, which is down here at the bottom half of the screen. So that's where you can actually convert and choose to convert to a new owner. And that is part of the standard convert process. You saw that in Classic as well as in now in Lightning. And then you can also, when you're editing a record, can also trigger assignment rules when you're saving a record.
Wow. And so that new owner, does that apply to all the new records or just the
so the new owner will apply to newly created records. It does not update existing records.
Good distinction. Thank you for that.
Yes.
All right, one more question from Arush. What about opportunity splits? Any word on that?
Opportunity splits is something that the team started working on as part of the this release cycle for Winter 18, and they're going to continue that work into the Spring 18 release, and Safe Harbor will hopefully have that delivered for you as part of that Spring 18 release.
Awesome.
Yeah.
So we do have to wrap it up for questions just for this demo. Now, please continue to ask your questions on Twitter and the Success community, because we'll be doing more questions throughout the course of the broadcast and at the end. And as Elna said, we have no question left behind. So we'll definitely be visiting the Success community on Twitter to ensure we get all of the questions, even those we don't answer on air.
All right.
But we do want to see, so thank you so much, Carrie. That was an awesome presentation and
thank you.
demo, and very exciting stuff coming for all of our Sales Cloud users, especially those that are moving their users to Lightning. So let's move on and hear what else is coming in Sales Cloud. And I'd like to kick it off to you, Andy.
All right, we have, in the winter release, we have a lot of new innovations and enhancements specifically around the sales productivity area. So for starters, I'm going to talk about this, the Lightning Console for sales. Lightning Console is something that we released earlier this year. We've gotten great feedback, and we continue to enhance that experience. The great thing about the Lightning Console is that you can open multiple workspaces. It's a great productivity tool for any users who works in a fast-paced sales environment. So we continue to enhance that experience. In the winter release, you can now use favorites in the Sales Console. That means that on any screen, you can mark it as favorite for quick access. We also introduced something called navigation rules. For example, when a user clicks on a contact, the admin can configure it so it automatically also opens the corresponding account, all with that same click. So it saves you another click, saves you another navigation. We also added a lot more keyboard shortcuts to help your users navigate in this console experience more efficiently. And another huge productivity feature in the winter release is macros. Now, traditionally, macros is a feature associated with the Service Cloud. But since now the Lightning Console for Sales and Lightning Console for Service, they're all built on top of the same Lightning Console platform. That means you also have macros for sales. With macros, you can automate a series of tasks. For example, after a call, I want to log the call. Maybe I want to send out a thank you email. I want to create a follow-up task. You can automate all that with one single click. It's a huge, huge productivity feature. We also made a lot of enhancements around emails. You can now send out mass emails directly from list views of leads, contacts, or person accounts. And when you send out those emails, they're automatically captured on the activity timelines of those records. And we call this the list email. And on the activity timeline, you can also filter your activity timeline by all your list emails. And if you send out attachments, we also automatically use content deliveries to send out those attachments. So instead of sending out maybe 1 megabyte of documents to everybody, it will generate a downloadable link, and that also means that you can track how many people download this particular material. Next is activity management. In the winter release, we support task reminders. So if you have any task with reminder set, you will get a reminder card on the screen to remind you to take action. You can also see all the activities on the activity timeline with the all activity history gesture, so you can see all the activity on a single screen. As I mentioned earlier, we introduced a list email filter in the activity timeline. In the winter release, we also introduced a task component, so you can take that component and integrate with Lightning for Gmail or Lightning for Outlook for your organization. We also made a lot of enhancements on the list view itself. For starters, you can now edit multiple records at once with mass inline edit. Just multi-select the record you want to update. You update one value, you will apply to all the selected records. You can now easily clone a record, clone a list view, or modify existing one and save it as you own. We also added text wrapping in the winter release, and you can customize your column width. We remember all that settings. You can set and reset those column width. And in the winter release, we also now support calendar sharing. That means you can share your calendar with your coworkers. They can create a new calendar events for you. In the winter release, we also now, through Lightning Sync, you can now create events through your Google Calendar experience, and you can access all the attendee information. And in the winter release, if you use Lightning, the notes experience in Lightning, we also allow you to relate the note to a particular record, but still keep that note private to yourself. It's a great way to keep sensitive data to yourself. Last but not least, we have Lightning Dialer. Now, if this is the first time you hear about Lightning Dialer, it is a native calling experience built for Lightning. It is an additional add-on to Salesforce. It allows you to make calls, receive calls. We also have a lot of features targeted for inside sales professionals like call list, voicemail drop, etc. In the winter release, we also added more functionality such as local presence, which will dynamically assign your organization a local area code phone number, so to help you reach more prospect. So with that, I'm going to switch to a demo and see everything in action. Okay, so here I am logged into my sales app in the Lightning experience. As I mentioned earlier, in the winter release, we now support task reminders. So if you have any task that has reminder set, you are going to see these task reminder cards. You can just click into it, and it will take you directly to that particular task. You can dismiss it, and all those reminders are also available in the notification bell as well. Now, I'm actually going to do the rest of my demo in the Lightning console. Now, if you haven't played with Lightning console before, definitely check it out. Everybody should have this today. Now, I was showing you the sales app. Lightning console is just another Lightning app with a different type of navigation. The great thing about Lightning console is that I can open multiple records all within one single browser tab. And not only that, I can continue to drill into information. For example, I'm looking for an opportunity. If I click on a contact within that opportunity, it will open a sub-tab. So it helps me to keep everything in context as I navigate through all the different workspaces. And in the winter release, you can also now use favorites. So here I can, let's say I work on this opportunity very often. I can just mark it as favorite, and I can have a quick access to this particular opportunity from this drop-down menu. We also added a lot of keyboard shortcuts to help your user navigate in this console experience. And we also, let me go back to the list view. So in the list view, we enhance a lot of the list view experience. For starters, we make everything more compact, so you see more information on the screen. We also added a text wrapping functionality. So as I resize this column, the text will wrap. And I can customize the column width, and next time when I log in, you will remember all those settings. And I can also just simply reset to the original column width. Another huge productivity feature we deliver is mass inline edit. So let's say I want to update all the lead status of these 4 records. I just click, let me just update all this to qualify. I can click check this box, and all the selected record will have this value updated. In the winter release, you can also now send mass emails directly from a list view. So here, again, let me send out list emails to these 4 records. Now, as you see, the recipients are the 4 records I selected, but I can even just use the type ahead feature and select a list view right from this window. So let's say I also want to send it out to new leads. Hey, but what about contacts? I can even just directly type contacts and send the same list email to my contacts, all from this autocomplete experience. But in this example, I just want to send it to these 4 people, and I can use a predefined email template. So let's say we want to send out some intro emails, and let's attach a attachment. And before I send it out, I can also preview my emails. I can preview it by the recipients before I send it out. So let's send out this. So the list email is sent out, and just one note, because I use an attachment, it automatically uses content delivery. So it's actually I'm not sending out the 1 megabyte file to every recipient. It has a publicly downloadable link, and that means I can also run a report and see who has downloaded that particular material. So all the email is automatically captured on the activity timeline. So if I open a lead, you're gonna see I just sent out the introduction email captured on the activity timeline. If I drill into it, it shows me the content as well as all the other recipients that were sent on the same mass email. So here, let's say I want to reach out to this customer. I use a lightning dialer to do click to dial. I'm dialing this customer, and the customer picks up. I'm taking some notes. It's a great conversation. After the call, you will automatically capture this activity, as you see, capture it on the activity timeline. But typically what I do is that after I call, I want to send out a thank you email, and I want to create a follow-up task. And I can do that, but with the introduction of macros, I can now automate all that with one single click. So here, these are all the macros that I had previously created associated with a lead. So I already created one. The first call follow-up, basically it sends out a thank you email. It creates a follow-up task. So I'm going to double click on this. Watch carefully, this part is really cool. I'm going to double click this, and my hands are off the keyboard. And you can just see everything in action on the screen. It's actually quite entertaining. Just see, everything is happening on the screen, right? So
magic.
It's magic, exactly. What is this witchcraft? Okay, so now as you see on the activity timeline, I send out a thank you email. This is my company information. I also created a follow-up task to remind me to reach out to this contact a few days later. So macros, again, it helps you automate a series of tasks. It's a great productivity feature. Speaking of activity timeline, I can also filter it, not just by, I can separate it out, the regular email I send out and as well as the list email. So it allows me to filter down to that granularity. Last but not least, I want to show you the new calendar enhancement. So here I am the calendar experience in Lightning. Again, it shows not only my Salesforce events, but also a tons of overlay information about the objects, such as campaigns, opportunity closing. But in the winter release, I can also share my calendar with my coworkers. All I need to do is go to Share Calendar. And here, let's say I want to share my calendar with Carrie. I can share the different access level that Carrie get. Simply click Save, then Carrie will have access to see my calendar. In fact, Carrie had earlier shared her calendar with me, and I even color-coded. So here I see calendars, Carrie's calendar, all on the same view. I can even, let's say, add an event on Carrie's calendar. Let's say, we want to grab some coffee after the release readiness. I can just do that, and it will just show up on Carrie's calendar. Last feature I wanted to show is the new enhancements in the notes experience. The great thing about notes experience in Lightning is that you can just quickly create a note, and everything is auto-saved, right? So if you're in a meeting, you can just take some notes, and everything's auto-saved. You don't have to save it. And by default, this note is your own, and you can also relate this note to an existing record. Previously, when you do that, that means everybody else who has access to that record, they can also see that note. But in the winter release, we allow you to still keep that note private by checking this box. That means even though that you associate with this node to a particular record, only you have visibility into it. And this is a great feature for, especially for industries such as healthcare, finance, users who may need to keep those node contents, sensitive information to themselves. So that's a quick overview of the new productivity features we have in the winter release. And I'm curious to see what questions that people have.
Awesome. Thank you so much. That was an awesome demo. And it's really exciting for our admins and for their users because with all of the console functionality, that's something that they can also build in their custom consoles, right? So all of those features that you were highlighting as far as where admins can define the behavior, right? That's for Sales Cloud, Service Cloud console, and then also for those custom console apps that our admins are building.
Exactly.
So it's really powerful for them to be able to define that user experience. I always tell everyone, console all the things, because I know console started in the Service Cloud world, but many of us have users today that are very high efficiency and need to have many things open at once. So console all of your custom apps, and it can take advantage of the great new features. So Elna, it sounds like we've got some questions. I've been seeing a lot of GIFs and excitement coming in on Twitter. What kind of questions do we have about our productivity features?
Oh my goodness, you all are keeping me so busy right now. I'm like, trying to keep track of all the questions. Now, if we don't get to all of them, I just want to remind everybody, Jacinta has also posted this in the community, but we do have a no question left behind policy, so if we don't get to it today during the live broadcast, we will answer them, follow up afterwards. So let's see if we can do some rapid fire here. So first, the shout outs from Guha Winter 18 is early Christmas for admins, devs, and consultants. And Carlos says, picking up my jaw after I saw the Lightning Sales Console. That's a good one. I think I might use that. And then also shout outs from Reba and Jackie. Lots of shout outs, a lot of excitement about some of these productivity enhancers. We all like to be more productive, and yeah, nothing's more exciting than fewer clicks. I know. Now, this is a question from Dominique. We promised we were going to ask this one. So when you do the view all activities in Lightning, can you see everything that is in Classic, like even in the activity archive?
Yes, it is. It's using the same limit as the Classic experience.
Great. And then from Kimberly, can you get task reminders in the console?
Yes. So again, think of a console as just a different Lightning app, and you get the same task reminder whether you're in the regular Sales app or in the Lightning console app.
Great. Ruth, for list views, can you use this to mass delete records, or is it only for inline editing?
I believe mass edit is available, but somebody keep me honest here. Anybody know the answers to that?
I don't believe that mass delete is available.
Oh, okay. We'll double check.
Yes.
We'll confirm.
Right. Pretty sure it's just mass edit, but
Yeah.
we can follow up. And then from Dan, can we send out attachments in the mass emails or the list emails as actual attachments as opposed to content delivery if you decide to do that?
No, so in the winter release, it will automatically use content delivery because sometimes you may have to send out to a large list of recipients, so we automatically use content delivery, so you're not wasting all those attachment size when you send it out.
Gotcha. Okay, so Sheila is asking, she's saying, great feature on mass inline editing, list views, and clone. Is it possible to change the lead owner on multiple leads from a list view with the mass inline editing that's now available?
I don't believe you can. No. I'm sure that's on the roadmap.
It is. Yes,
Right.
it's on the roadmap.
Yes.
That one. I get that question a lot.
And can you summarize on an opportunity list view what fields can be mass inline edited or mass edited in a view?
I believe this is, you can do mass edit with anything that you can do inline edit today, which is all the text-based fields, I believe, the text-based values.
Great, thank you. Next question from Christopher. Can we toggle task reminders? Some people love it, some people maybe they just don't want that on their screen.
No, you cannot do that today.
Got it. All right. Another question from Dominique about Lightning Dialer. Is it still only US and Canada based, or is international on the roadmap?
It is, and you are asking the right person, as I'm the product manager for Lightning Dialer. Thank you for your interest. We are focusing on growing our feature set currently, but other regions, it is on our roadmap. It's just that it's gonna take a few more releases before you get there.
Okay, Leanne, I got two more. Do we
Perfect.
Have? All right. Okay. And the rest of them, I'm going to keep track, and then we'll see if we can circle back. Paul On the emails from lists, do limits apply, or what sort of limits apply?
It's the same mass email limit that you have in Classic.
Great. And Kimberly, what objects can be used as favorites now? It was limited before. Are there any new objects that you can now favorite that you couldn't favorite before?
I will have to double check on that. I don't believe so. I think in the winter release, we just make it available in the console experience, but we can follow up on that.
Yeah, for that one, like forecasting and chatter, still not available to favorite. That's on the roadmap that we'll try to tackle.
There you go.
I think Liz has something on the roadmap for that too.
Folders later in the future.
Well, very exciting. We've got some great questions coming in. Thank you for going through those and answering. And as always, we will definitely make sure to get to your questions. So don't fret if we haven't been able to get to all of them yet. And I love with the new GIF Twitter feature, right? Like I think in the last year, now we see all the GIF reactions coming in. So those are really fun to see because there's a lot of excitement. And now we have another area of the Sales Cloud that I personally am very excited about. That's long been one of my favorite areas of Salesforce, which is analytics. So very excited to have you back, Liz, and to tell us some of the latest and greatest coming in Winter 18 for analytics.
I'm excited. Thank you, Leanne. So I wanted to give you a quick overview of all the great new things that are available, and then I'll dive into a demo just to give you more details about that. So first of all, in dashboards, in Winter 18, you now have dashboards available as a component in the Lightning App Builder, so that now you can add that dashboard, any dashboard you want, to like the home page or the app page, any app pages that you want to display it on. It's pretty popular on the home page, so now you have a popular dashboard that you can log in and see right away. And then you also have a lot of improvements in the charts in your dashboards now. So I'll go into the details later, but people have been requesting to see the full number for metrics and gauges, and they wanted to see more values on their donut charts and funnel charts, and so that's all coming. And then we have, now when you're looking at a dashboard and you look at a particular component, you could actually click on one of the segments on the chart, and it actually drills down into a report, and then the report itself will already be filtered down to that segment that you clicked on. And so then when you expand the filter panel, you'll see what filters were applied, so you don't have to go and mirror that filtering. It'll actually filter down to the report for you. And so that's now available in Lightning to mirror what was available in Classic. And then Lightning dashboard tables. So you have Classic tables that you might be familiar with that had like 2 columns or 4 columns that you could display on a dashboard. And we support that in Lightning, and you can edit that. You can add your chatter photos, and you can do conditional highlighting on those tables in your dashboards. But we felt the need to kind of improve that in the Lightning experience. So only in Lightning, in Winter 18, in beta status, is this new concept of a Lightning table in addition to those Classic tables. So with a Lightning table, now you can display up to 10 different fields in your tables in your dashboard, and you can choose which fields, any of the fields that are available in that report type in your source report to show. So it doesn't have to be the fields that were already defined for the report that you're pulling from, but any of the fields from that report type. So it's pretty powerful. Lightning tables are awesome. It's default on for your org in Winter 18, but it is beta status. And then Lightning Dashboards also has subscriptions available in Winter 18 as a pilot option. So pilot option is early on where we still want to gather feedback and see how people like the way it works. So if you're familiar with the way reporting subscriptions work, you can subscribe to up to 5 different reports, and those reports get emailed to you on a regular basis. And that doesn't matter what your title or your role is in your org, and everyone gets only 5 subscriptions for their reports. So we're taking that same model and we're applying that to dashboards so that you can subscribe to up to 5 different dashboards and get those dashboards emailed to you. Because it's in pilot status for Winter 18, you will need to work with one of our product managers to get added to the pilot, and then once you're in the pilot, you get to work with us and give us your feedback about what we can do to improve it before it becomes GA. So contact Daniel Glogowski. His contact is on that slide so that you can get added to our pilot. And folder management. A lot of people have been saying, hey, I have all these reports and dashboards in Lightning, but I can't save them to different folders. I can't share my folders with other people in Lightning. I always have to switch back to Classic. So now in Winter 18, you're able to share those folders with different groups, public groups, users, or roles. This actually does require, though, that your org be using what we call enhanced folder sharing. So a prerequisite for you to do this in Lightning is if your org is older than Summer 13, if your org was created before the Summer 13 release, you need to go into Setup and turn on Enhanced Folder Sharing, and then you can take advantage of this in Lightning so that you can share folders. This Enhanced Folder Sharing is much more granular than what you might be used to in the older orgs. And then last but not least, I'm going to be showing you the Lightning Report Builder. So this is a new take on how to build reports in Lightning. What we're really excited about this report builder, because we didn't just take the classic report builder and port it over to Lightning. We wanted to take this opportunity to really make it easier and faster for you to create the reports that you need. So the goal is for anyone who's been creating reports, you'll be able to do them faster than you were before. And it's also easier so that other people in your orgs who need reports and might need to create reports aren't shy about doing it anymore. They can figure it out for themselves. They don't have to ask their admins to create them for them. So that was our goal for this release, and I'm excited to show you that to you. All right, so switching over to my demo, I wanted to give you an example of some of the charts that you can create in your dashboards. So you'll notice here my donut chart, I can actually configure my chart to show the values in each segment, as well as hover over into them. You'll see that my metrics now have the full number, not just an abbreviation, so it won't say 3.9M, it'll say 3,982,000. And same with my gauges. And you'll see that legacy charts now support editing the chatter photos and the conditional highlighting, and I can create my line-by-line charts. And then further down, ta-da, is my lightning table that I created, which has many more columns than I was able to do in Classic. And then also, you'll see that if I look at all the folders that I have available to me, one of the actions I now have available to me is to share that folder with other users, let's say. So if I want to share this with some other people in my team, or if I wanted to share with some public groups, maybe all internal users, I'd have that available to me as well. And because this relies on this new feature called Enhanced Folder Sharing, you'll see that it's more granular. I can allow users to either view, edit, or manage. If your org is older than Summer 13, remember to turn this feature on in Setup, and you'll see that you'll have that additional degree of granularity for sharing your folders. And then the last thing I wanted to show you is Lightning Report Builder. That requires opting in, though, because Lightning Report Builder is beta status for Winter 18, which means we don't automatically turn it on, and it's not as full-featured as we want it to be when it becomes GA in the near future. So to turn on the Lightning Report Builder, you need to be using Enhanced Folder Sharing, because our Lightning Report Builder does save our reports in that more Enhanced Folder Sharing feature. So then you go into Setup, and then in Setup, you can look for the Reports and Dashboards section. And there will be a checkbox for the Lightning Report Builder beta that you can turn on for your org. That's the first step in terms of enabling the Lightning Report Builder, but there is a second step. Once you enable it for your org, you actually have to choose which users in your org you want to use the Lightning Report Builder. And so you go to your users section in Setup as well, and you can either allow all users with a specific profile to have this setting. So if you go into a particular profile, you can look for a report builder.
Is that a permission that's enabled by default for standard profiles?
It is not by default turned on for any profiles. Okay. So you have to turn it on for your org, and you have to specifically assign it to users. By default, no one has it on. So if I go to a particular profile, I would go in and modify it to have this checkbox. So and it says Report Builder Lightning Experience. So standard profiles do not have this on. So if you have a non-standard one, a custom profile that you created, then you can edit that. Otherwise, if your users are using standard profiles, you might want to use permission sets and provide that to them in a permission set. So in the permission set, there's also the Report Builder Lightning Experience permission.
So this is something that for admins who maybe want to kind of get their feet wet and get comfortable with the report builder and see if it meets all their reporting needs, they wouldn't even necessarily have to go test it out in a sandbox or a developer environment. They could just turn it on, maybe start with themselves, get comfortable, right? Because it wouldn't be automatically turned on for their users until they do so, right?
Exactly.
Awesome.
So it's not like everyone has it in your org as soon as you turn it on. You could say, my first step in my production org is for me to just have it for myself or any system administrators, let's say, have this permission to look at the report builder, and then later on you can assign that to other users in your org as well. Once we get deeper into this, you can see I personally would advocate eventually turning this on for as many users in your org as possible, because I think it's pretty low risk in this beta process, but you can always start more conservatively with a few users. Great question. All right, so once it's turned on, you've turned it on for your org, and you've also assigned it to some users in your org, and then you now have the ability to access the report builder. So if I were to go into the reports tab, I'll now see that there are several options for me on the reports homepage. Not only can I create a report and a folder, but there's actually a third button. So what we've now done with the beta is you have a new report button, which now goes into the new Lightning report builder. But then we gave you the option to still go back to the classic report builder that's embedded in Lightning. So we still have a button there. It says new report, Salesforce Classic. So, but we want you to use the report builder, the new one, the Lightning one. So if you were to click on new report, it actually launches this new interface, which will look a lot different than the classic one. And you will see that you get to choose your report types just like you were before. So if I were to create an opportunity report, and then by default, all the default fields that are available for an opportunity report type appear in my report. You see my report grid with a preview of all the data that's available in that report. On my left-hand side, we have what we call an outline panel, and it lists all those fields that are by default displayed. If I don't like the default fields that are available to me, there's a trash can icon over here that I'm hovering over, so that I can remove all those columns and I can add my own. So you can add columns too if you want. In this text box, you can type in a new one that you want to add. But some of you who are used to the classic report builder can expand this fields panel. There's a bug here, so you'll see this error, but we're working on that one. And so when you expand the fields panel, you'll still have a list of fields available to you to browse through, and you can drag and drop just like you did before to the report grid if you want, or you can drag and drop to the outline panel. And so you can add the fields just like you're used to in Classic Report Builder with the dragging and dropping from the fields panel. I personally like the outline panel, which is new and only in Lightning, so you can drag up and down so you can reorder all the fields within your report using that method.
How you do that.
You could still drag and drop the columns across in the report grid like you did in Classic. I personally think that it's a little bit more efficient if you do it within the outline panel. And then you can do a lot of deletes with the X's in the outline panel too. That's a lot faster than just having to select the rows in the report grid to delete them as well. So I think that improves the efficiency of creating reports, and it's very easy to use. So you can add either by typing in the name, or you can drag from the fields panel, and then you can drag within here as well. Now, two more things I want to show you, which I'm really excited about. So nowhere in here have I specified what kind of report this is, other than the fact that it's displaying opportunities. So if you're used to building reports in Classic, you might be used to having to decide if it's a tabular report versus a summary versus a matrix report. A lot of people don't necessarily know what that means, and they shouldn't have to. The point is you want to create a report with opportunities, and you might want to group it. Maybe you want to know all the opportunities that belong to Liz versus someone else in her team. So you might say, I want to group my records, my opportunities, by the opportunity owner. So I just drag the opportunity owner to the area that says group rows. And so now my report shows all my records grouped by who owns those opportunities. Now, those of us who've created reports in Classic before know that this all of a sudden turned into a summary report from a tabular report, but nowhere in this interface did it tell me I have to specify that. It's just the way I chose to group my report. And so it's more implicit, and in that sense, easier for anyone to create the reports that they need. Now, I group by rows. I could also group by columns. So let's say I want to group them by stage in the columns. Now this is what we used to call a matrix report, and it still is a matrix report, but you don't need to know that. You just want to group by column. And so there it is. And down here I have some toggles. So I can say, do I want to see the row counts? No or yes. Detail rows or grand totals, I can toggle those on and off. Another cool thing I like to show is that, especially for these reports that are grouped by both row and column, these matrix reports, sometimes you want to see what record is actually comprising all these counts. So maybe if I had all the amounts available summed up, maybe I want to know which records are comprising this cell. So now if I click on that area, below it'll show me all the records that are accounted for in that particular cell. So that's a detailed view of your matrix report. And that's a new way of looking at your details from a matrix report. And I forgot to also show you that there's a separate panel here for filters as well. So you can see all the default filters that were added to my opportunity report. The standard filters, I can also add my own. Maybe I want to look at certain opportunities with certain types, or the ones that belong to certain lead sources. And then once I have added my own filters, I can also add my own filter logic. And I can modify that. So I can say, oh, well, I'm looking for opportunities that belong to a certain type or came from a particular lead source. I can change that logic if I want to. And then another highly requested feature is people actually want to make these edits to the reports, but they don't want to save it before they run their report. So that's also available in this new Lightning Report Builder. I haven't saved yet. I'm just going to click this Run Report. And now you see the report run. You can also click Edit to go back to the report, and you get back to the working copy of what you had before. Now that I have my report grouped by rows or columns, I also have the ability to add a chart if I want. And I can change it to a column or a donut. In this case, I'm not showing anything. So I'm going to change my filters because I didn't want those filters. And then I can go back. So yeah, those were the main, yeah.
Oh, sorry to interrupt.
Go ahead. Those were the main areas I wanted to show you of the Lightning Report Builder.
Yeah, there's so much. It's so exciting for our admins to be able to get their hands on with Lightning Report Builder and really jump in and do even more with their dashboards in Lightning with pages. Now, there's a ton of cool features that Liz just covered, but we do want to make sure that we can get through and learn about Einstein as well. So we're going to be coming back to our analytics questions, and if we don't get to them this session, we'll make sure to answer them online, because we just got to see so much cool stuff, so we want to make sure we see all of our Einstein features as well. So I want to kick it off. So thank you so much, Liz. Wonderful demo. And Mike, I'd love to hear about Einstein and Sales Cloud and what it means for everyone in Winter 18.
No, thank you, Leanne. So first I want to highlight is Einstein lead scoring. So this is about building a pipeline, get the reps to focus on the most important leads. So prior to the winter release, your success metric was about lead to opportunity creation. I know every business runs differently. So in this release, it now allow you to customize. Maybe you don't care about lead to opportunity. You care about lead to a creation of account and contact is your success metrics. So this way, more orgs can use Einstein lead scoring. And also, when you deploy Einstein lead scoring on a monthly basis, our learning algorithms continue to improve. So as you continue using it, Einstein will actually get smarter and really prioritize your lead. Now, for the next two sections, I want to ask the question. How many people had sales rep tell them, I love data entry? It's probably crickets. Never. You never hear that. Right? So next, the Einstein activity capture is really capturing your emails and meetings and putting to Salesforce. So this is part of Sales Cloud Einstein and Inbox. And prior to this release, we supported Gmail and Outlook 365. Now with the winter release, customers who have exchanged 213 and 216 can now use Einstein Activity Capture. And also, in the past, we only supported the basic accounts, leads, contacts, purse accounts, and opportunities. So the basic objects within Sales Cloud. Now we extend into more downstream quotes and contracts. So if you use quotes and contracts now, you can automatically add the activity into those objects. And last but not least, every company has email data retention policies. So now you can call customer support and ask them to change the default setting, which we keep emails and calendars for up to 24 months, which is 2 years. The next one is Einstein automated contacts. So we really automated the automated contacts in this release. So previously, it's more like suggested, hey, these are new contacts within your org through your email. We suggest you to add these contacts. Now in the winter release, you can have a beta. You can either add the contacts automatically and or add the opportunity contacts role. So we add this automatic, even if the contact creation fails, right, due to required fields or deduping logic, instead of automating it, we actually give you a suggestion. So when we can't add the contacts automatically, you'll be a suggestion notification for the sales rep to add the contacts later. In addition, now we added reporting into SalesCon Einstein, so now you can get contacts report. So you'll see on a monthly, yearly basis, see how many contacts were added through suggestions or how many contacts were automated. In addition, in this report, we'll show you the difference how much Einstein automated contacts was added versus manual entry from the sales rep. Now it's been a year since we announced SalesCon Einstein. So I want to talk about the next generation of SalesCon Einstein. So think about the lead to cash process. It's about building a pipeline, closing your deals, and then once you close the deals, it's about growing and nurture the customer that you have now. So just to reiterate, currently we have 5 features in SalesCon Einstein. Right, so let me go over features very quick. So Einstein Activity Capture is capturing emails and calendars into Salesforce. Lead scoring is prioritizing based on AI algorithm, what's the best lead to grow your business. Opportunity Insights is based on email that you have. We look at sentiment analysis, do email engagement to service any actions on the email for the sales rep. Next is about Einstein Account Insights. So if you have account news hooked up, we will show you news related to the accounts, like if there's a merger happening or leadership change, we'll surface to rep, so rep knows what's happening in their accounts. And that, last but not least, is just Einstein automated contacts. As I said before, this will streamline the data entry, so sales reps don't have to figure out what contacts and contact roles they have to add. So for the next gen, we have 3 great features I want to talk to. So the very first one I'll show you on the right is Einstein forecasting. So with this feature, you will have no more forecasting surprises. I think this is a holy grail for sales. They want to understand what the forecast will look like. So we'll give an understanding what the forecast number will be, and also the reasoning behind it. And at the top, you have Einstein opportunity scoring. This has really helped the rep and manager prioritize what opportunity they want to focus. Right? So we'll give you what are the most valuable leads, and what are the most valuable opportunities, and what the opportunities at risk. And last but not least is email insights. I know on a daily basis I'm inundated with emails, right? Imagine you have a personal assistant that comes in, show you the high priority emails that you should be focusing on. And then if you want to get access to the pilot, right, we actually have a URL created, so you can go to this page. It's salesforce.com/Einstein NextGen. So I'll repeat, salesforce.com/Einstein NextGen. Right, and now I'll go a quick demo on the next generation of SalesCon Einstein. So you can see here on my forecast page, I'm logged in as Valerie Jones, a sales manager. My forecast is on a monthly basis. And you can see, let's focus on right here. So on the right is your typical roll-up of what's in collaborative forecasting, is your roll-up your opportunities. And the managers can make judgments, hey, on what the forecast might look like. So we'll see here is, if I expand this, you'll see, hey, I have team members. Now I have a new column called Einstein Prediction. What we do is we deploy a few algorithms into the org, and then also we do it per team. So if you have different teams that operate differently, so imagine you have enterprise versus inside sales, right? One focus on big deals, the other focus on run rate. Our algorithms will determine, hey, what is the best predictor for that team? So even within the organization, you will have multiple models deployed per team. And then we will only display Einstein predictions when we're confident enough there's a prediction that we can generate, a forecast prediction we can generate. And then when I click on the prediction number, we give you more like a why panel, give you some of the reason behind it, so a sales manager can understand how we got to that forecast. the very first thing you'll see is a range, right? Forecast is not a precise number. Since it's a combination of a roll-up and multiple opportunities, we'll still give you a range. We'll give you the range in percentages and also express as a dollar value. And below that, I think it's more powerful to show you that breakdown, right? We'll show you how much has closed currently. We'll show you how much you win from your current deals, right? So these are all the current deals for September. How much deals will win? We'll show you pulled in. So any future deals. So in this demo, it would be like October and further out. So I know sales reps typically pull deals in, right? So this is about looking at history and pull those deals in. The next one is actually most customers get excited about is win from new deals, right? Internally, we call this organic ACV, deals closed within 5 days. I know a lot of companies call it run rate business. These are the small transactions that happen quickly. And based on the history of your organization, we'll tell you, hey, based on the past, we think this much deals will be created and closed for this period. And the amount change, you see here it's negative, right? So based on your current existing pipeline and the pipeline you're going to pull in, this is the amount we think will change, and that's how we get to that prediction number. And below that are factors, since our model can spit out multiple factors. We make this we translate into more human readable text. So here's an example. It's like, hey, we predict this month will be higher because you're at a better run rate compared to past month. In addition to showing the prediction for the period, we actually, so Einstein's thinking right here, we actually show you a graph per day, right? So give you visibility into what's happening in the past. This is the mock data. So you can see for the current month, what's going on per day, how much your team has closed, and show you prediction by day. For any day into this current period, show you what the prediction might look like. So managers get a sense, hey, for every day for the rest of the period, what the forecast might be. And then let me go back to Forecast tab to talk about opportunity scoring. So if I click on the month of September, below, we'll show you an opportunity list of all your opportunities. Now you can see I have a score. So score means the probability of opportunity to close. And when I hover over this, you can see very similar to lead scoring, right? Einstein's telling me what are some of the predictive factors that went into it. So like in this one, you can see amount has changed, closing has been delayed, but you still have a lot of activities. If I go into the opportunity directly, I can put in the score in my highlight panel. So I can see that here with the same hover over. I can also put in my details panel, right? So I can see the same score with the same hover over to see Einstein. But the most powerful part is put into list view. So if I go into my closing this month list view, now you get a list of leads, these are the most valuable leads to ones at risk. Now, what I tell people is the ones that are lowest doesn't mean that you should not be focused on, right? Because to me, like here, the lowest one has one of the highest values. So it's more conversations between the manager and rep. How should we proceed, strategize, move forward to really close that opportunity? And then next, I'm going to demo is inbox email insights through inbox. So let me go to my QuickTime. So I'm going to show you from the inbox interface, right? You can see I'm inundated with emails every day. You see, the first one is about kite surfing, right? I know I want to kite surf, but I don't have the time. And you can see here, we actually have these little icons that show you the most important emails. So based on this pilot, right now we surface insights on meeting requests, pricing mention, and executive involved. So these are current 3 insights we're working on. We'll have more in the future. And I can actually filter out just to see which are the leads I want to prioritize, which are the emails I want to prioritize on. Right? If I look at my Scott Smith email, you can see a meeting where it's requested, right? You see the insight. When I click on the insight, Einstein recommended taking action, right? So directly I can send times to a customer. So I don't have to toggle out to my calendar app. I can just go here, send my available times, like, hey, to the customer, check it. So I can check this and then send this email off, right? So now the customer get that email showing my availability of myself. Now when I go into this other email, I can see here, this email is quite long. I don't have the time to go through email as going through as a transactional rep. I can see prices mentioned, executive involved. So when I drill down, I can see some actions, right? Einstein recommended to reply, or if the exec involved, hey, this new person has not been involved in this conversation, right? So it's a new deal. I know when the exec involved, that likely means a deal more likely to close. So I can click on, so Einstein Inbox is integrated with Salesforce 1, so I can go quickly to opportunity. since the exec was mentioned, I can just mark this deal as complete and then move on. And then so that's the end of my demo, Leanne.
That's awesome. That's so exciting for admins, for our sales users, especially. I love the mobile experience. I mean, I think that that's, and I know our community is excited about it as well. I know that that's awesome for them. So let's visit our analytics questions and our Einstein questions. So Elna, maybe if we could do 2 of each, questions from each section. I know we've got a lot of traffic and a lot of attention around both those features.
Yeah, so there's tons of questions on analytics and lots of excitement about the report builder, especially shout outs from Arush and Carl and Jennifer and Alan and Reba and Byron and Justin and many, many more. I just wanted to mention those.
Lots of dancing gifts.
And I wanted to I just picked a few analytics questions that I wanted to bring up. And in terms of Einstein, I did want to mention that there are 2 groups in the success community that you should join if you're interested in learning more about AI and the Einstein features. There's Sales Cloud Einstein, and there's also Einstein Analytics. They're 2 separate groups right now, and we do webinars there, and you can also talk with product managers there if you have more questions after today, as well as in release readiness. That's fine too. So let's flip back to reports and dashboards for a minute, because that's what's familiar to everybody on the line. So Dave is asking, where do you turn on enhanced folder sharing? And then there was also a similar question from Carlos about exactly where the permissions are. So if you could just review that again, in order to use the Lightning Report Builder, can you just go over where you turn on enhanced folder sharing and also how you grant the permissions?
So I can't show you in the org that I have because it's newer than Summer 13. So if your org was created before the Summer 13 release, you would go under Setup, search for Reports and Dashboards, and under there should be a section for folder sharing, and then you just have a checkbox there that you should turn on. If your org is newer than Summer 13, you don't have that setting because it's already available to you. And so don't worry about that then. If you can't find it, you should already have that setting, and you should just move on to turning on the report builder for your org and for your users.
All right. And just a general question about the report builder from Powell. Are all features from Classic Report Builder now available in the Lightning Report Builder? Or so let's talk a little bit about why it's a beta.
Yeah, that's a good question. And yes, I should have emphasized that for this beta release of the Lightning Report Builder in Winter 18, it is not at full parity with Classic in terms of features. So we know there are several major features that we're working hard to get to in the next release, including bucketing, formulas that you might want to create if you want to group by week or month, and cross filters. Those are some major features that we are working on next to be available for the spring release, but in this beta release, those features are not yet available. I do want to emphasize, though, that even with the beta enabled, you have both the button to edit your reports in the Lightning Report Builder as well as in the Classic Report Builder. So you can use the same report and edit them in either one and switch back and forth between the new one and the Classic one for any features that you need the Classic Builder for in this beta release.
Yeah, we actually have lots and lots more questions about reports and the report builder and some of these reports and dashboard features. I do want to mention to everybody that Liz and I did a webinar just not too long ago where she did an extensive amount of Q&A, and there's a recording available for that. So I will post that again in the community so you can all look at those, because some of your questions have already been answered in that recording. So take a look at that. And then just one quick question for Einstein, because I know we're probably getting the high sign here to wrap up. So can you just clarify the cost and license for Einstein as my battery dies on my laptop? I think I'm getting a message here. So yeah, what is the cost and license availability for Einstein?
So right now it's $50 per user. That's the cost right now for Sales Cloud Einstein. And then once the next gen comes out, pricing and packaging is still to be determined.
All right. Thanks.
Great. Well, thank you so much, Elna, and thank you for those questions. And definitely, if you have more questions about Einstein, visit us on the Success community, check out those groups that Elna posted, and we'll be going through all of the questions. As Elna said, no question left behind. So if we didn't get to your analytics question or your Sales Cloud or productivity questions, we'll be going through those and making sure we address all of them. So I want to say thank you so much to all of you for joining us today. This has been really illuminating. There's so many exciting things happening in Winter 18 for our sales users, for our admins. And thank you to our community and for Elna Miller for working with our community and helping bubble up those questions and for engaging with us. And we want to hear from you more from the community, from those of you who attended today. So make sure to fill out the survey. Let us know what you liked about today's session, what you'd like to see more of. We want to hear from you because that's why we do these, so we can bring the latest features to you wherever you are. So that's wrapping it up for today for the Sales Cloud. Make sure to join us tomorrow, same time, same place. We'll be talking about the Service Cloud, so make sure to join us. You can also always visit the recording for this session, again, where you registered for the session. And with that, we're finished, and thank you so much, and we'll see you tomorrow.